promo code Joe. That's mypillow.com, promo code Joe.
For this conversation for a while. I'm thrilled to be joined by Stephanie Hein from Maker Girl. And Stephanie, you and I have gotten to know each other over the past while. And Maker Girl, your mission is to inspire girls to be active in STEM, but that is such an understatement for all of the statistics and everything that you guys have been accomplished. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Stephanie, let's start with the basics of Maker Girl. Obviously, we are... Our conversation is taking place here in Elk Grove Village. I've had you on my program at Northwestern University, and you have a presence at Northwestern. But I know after the show you are heading down to Champaign, to U of I. Tell us sort of how Maker Girl got started and where you're located, and sort of that core mission of what you're doing.
Sure. So Maker Girl is a nonprofit organization, and we were founded back in 2015 by two business students at the University of Illinois. And really the inspiration and their motivation behind this organization is they saw a lack of women in C-suite roles like CEO, CFO positions, but then also just a general lack of women in STEM. And so they were inspired by that issue and wanted to promote young girls getting involved in these fields and teaching them that there's so much more than just doing a math problem or doing a chemistry experiment, that it's creative and fun and you can use your imagination in these fields as well. So from that, we do 3D printing sessions with 7 to 10-year-old girls where we take them through the design process. So they start by drawing out their design. They learn how to turn their design into a 3D computer design, and then we print that out for them, and they're able to take home their object with them. We do that at the University of Illinois and Northwestern University, and this past fall, we piloted a session with the Society of Women Engineers at Harvard. So we're very excited that we're expanding.
It's fascinating. And I know I have some outdated statistics, but as of just a couple of months ago, you have already had over 3,000 3D prints sent home with Maker Girls. And I've met some of those Maker Girls at Northwestern, and the look on their face and their stories of how they have found their purpose is truly fantastic. So again, going back to that mission, your goal is to inspire girls to be active in STEM. Let's talk about the root challenge of why perhaps young ladies might not be inspired, and what that process of inspiration looks like.
Sure. So when we were doing research for our organization, we found that girls tend to lose interest and start saying no to STEM-related opportunities around the age of 11. So we target 7 to 10-year-olds because we want to reach them before that age to build up their enthusiasm and their confidence in these areas to hopefully sustain them through middle school and high school and into college. And personally, for me, I remember when I was in 7th grade, I was interested in taking like an engineering course at my middle school. And I ended up not taking it. And my mom tells me that it's because I said, "Mom, no, that's a class, like only the boys take that class. Like, I don't want to take it." So I think it's just really important to show these young girls that there are women and there are girls just like them studying these fields and being successful in these fields, and we just need to keep increasing that pipeline.
And so, Maker Girl, you talked about your presence at University of Illinois at Champaign, obviously at Northwestern. What is next for Maker Girl? How will you continue to accomplish that mission?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. A couple different ways. So we're focused on expanding to other universities in the U.S. We're currently working on building a team in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and then also at Milwaukee School of Engineering. And we hope to continue to expand from there. And then we also do a road trip every summer where we take our program on the road. It was inspired by trying to reach rural and underserved communities that are outside of where the universities are located. So this summer we're doing an East Coast version of that road trip. We'll be traveling everywhere between Illinois and the East Coast. So that's what's next for us.
That's exciting. And we're going to have to squeeze in a quick break in a moment, and we're going to talk more about the fundamentals of what STEM is. But among the statistics, and I keep sharing these statistics because I'm so proud of them, and I've been sharing them ever since you and I first met, is that 74% of Maker Girls would pursue a career in STEM. That's pretty impressive. So you've only been doing this for a couple of years, and already girls have committed that this is what they want their future to look like. What about the sort of the right now when Maker Girls, do they graduate from the program? How does that work?
So currently we're only working with elementary school girls, but in the future we hope to build a pipeline of our program where they can do the elementary school curriculum, go into the middle school program, high school, and then eventually graduate and want to start a Maker Girl Academy when they're in college and stay involved.
It's very, very impressive. And again, I've met some of these girls, and you could see how much they found some purpose, and that they're actually interested in the studies. This is very hands-on. 3D printing and all of this work requires a lot of resources. So I want to say it now, and of course we'll say it again in a couple of minutes. But how can people support the efforts of Maker Girl?
We're always looking for new sponsors to sponsor our program, just with general costs associated with the program, but also specifically for our road trip this summer. And if you're interested in that, you can visit our website, www.makergirl.us, and all the information is on there.
Fantastic. What about somebody that wants to become a Maker Girl?
Yeah, if you want to become a Maker Girl, that information is also on our website. You can email info@makergirl.us to learn about the opportunities in your area.
That's fantastic. Well, we're going to squeeze in a quick break in just a moment. Of course, you could always get on my website, shalomklein.com, and I'm going to share the link to Maker Girl as well as some of those statistics that I keep mentioning here on the air. I'll share all of that information on my blog so you could check that out. And I'd encourage everybody listening to share this information to get somebody else involved. In order to accomplish that mission, it involves sharing that information and making sure people are aware of the challenge that exists. I'm going to have Stephanie back on in just a quick moment. Got to squeeze in a very quick break. Stephanie from Maker Girl will be right back. I've been chatting with Stephanie from Maker Girl, and we've talked a little bit about what it means to become a Maker Girl. We've talked about the work, the impact on community, which is truly fantastic, including certainly there's well-known data that's out there. It's hard to turn on the news these days without seeing those letters, STEM, STEM. So I feel like we may have just brushed over it in our little bit of our first conversation over there. But Stephanie, what is STEM and why is it so important?
So STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. They've also added an A recently. It's now STEAM, and the A stands for art, which works really well with our program because we encourage the girls to be creative and use their imagination. So it's STEAM now, and it's very important because it's really used in like any career you can think of. There's something STEM associated with that. Whether you're here at the radio station and you need to learn how to use the technology, whether you're working in a lab or even in sales, if you're selling like healthcare products, you need to have a little bit of that science background. So it's just really important. And currently the U.S. STEM workforce, there's only about 25% women. So our goal is to increase that number. Oh, sure. So clearly very, very important. And while the economy continues to change, and I feel like that's been a theme of this of the show as I keep turning to each of our guests and talking about what the Chicago market is like, I'm going to do the same for you. And as we've talked about sort of the business climate here in Chicago, and we've talked about the real estate climate here, why do you feel STEM is important, or do you feel that STEM is important here in the Chicago market? Yeah, for sure. We work mainly with schools and Girl Scouts in the Chicago area, and we find that they're especially interested in any new opportunities that they can have their students involved in that's related to STEM, just because it's such in demand right now. Schools don't necessarily have the proper resources to provide that, so after-school programs like ours are able to come in and provide that experience for their students. Wow. So we've talked about what it means to become a Maker Girl, but what about starting a Maker Girl Academy? What's involved in that? Yeah, so Maker Girl Academy, those are based at universities. So we're always looking for students who are interested in running our program, and they don't necessarily have to be STEM-related majors. We have business majors, design majors, everyone involved. It can be women and men. We're really encouraging the men on our campuses to get involved as well. And we would help you, and we would train you and teach you what we're about and help you run a program, and then you would take it from there.
Oh, that's exciting. So lots of impact, and clearly you're taking things on the road, which means that there will be an even greater impact. You've gotten a lot of coverage lately, and I know that I just saw an article that was, I think, out there on Forbes with the co-founders of Maker Girl, which is very, very impressive. So let's go back to the numbers. How many people have come through Maker Girl sessions? How many sessions have there been?
We have done about 120 Maker Girl sessions in 18 different states across the U.S. and have reached about 3,500 girls. And our goal is to have educated 10,000 girls by the year 2023.
Amazing. And in order for that to happen, I know we talked about it earlier, it requires some community involvement, and that means stepping up, spreading the word, but also donating as well. So let's talk about the sponsorship opportunities. There's obviously donating money. Are there other ways that people can volunteer or donate materials or donate anything else?
Yeah, materials, that's a big part of our program. So we're always looking for new laptops, even just promotional items to go in our goodie bags to send home with our girls. And then 3D printers, anything like that. We're always on the lookout for people who are willing to donate.
Okay. Well, believe it or not, we are running out of time, and I want to make sure that our listeners know where they can find out more, read some of the coverage, learn more about Maker Girl, but also importantly, step up, donate, and get involved. Where can people find you and get in touch?
We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and that's Maker Girl, all one word. And then our website is www.makergirl.us.
Makergirl.us. I encourage everybody to get involved. I also encourage all of our listeners to check out our sponsors, Tandem HR. Give them a call, 630-928-0510. Visit their website, tandemhr.com. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining me here in studio. Thank you to all of our guests and all of our listeners. We'll be back next Sunday right here on AM 560, The Answer to Success. Let's get down to business. Be sure to check out my website, shalomklein.com. We'll talk to you next week with a brand new lineup of guests. You don't want to miss it. Chicago, thanks for tuning in.